changing your life one story at a time. This is the Chicken Soup for the Soul podcast with Editor-in-Chief Amy Newmark.
Hey, it's Amy Newmark with your daily dose of Chicken Soup for the Soul inspiration. You know, I've talked about good deeds in the past on this podcast, and usually I talk about doing them for altruistic reasons. But there is also another way to look at good deeds. They can actually be useful tools to change human behavior. And that's how Andrew Nalian used them, as he tells us in his story called The Good Deed Challenge, which we published in Chicken Soup for the Soul, Find Your Inner Strength, and which I also talk about in my new book that goes on sale today, actually. It's called Simply Happy. So Andrew tells us that he had just graduated from Central Michigan University, and he wanted to travel a bit. He got a summer job as a server on a cruise ship in Alaska. He was going for the last months of the season, which is actually a very competitive time for servers to try to make as much money as possible before the tourist season is over. Therefore, Andrew's arrival as a newbie was not welcomed by his coworker, and he found himself in a hostile environment subject to a lot of workplace bullying. On a cruise ship, you can't exactly get away from your colleagues either. Everyone lives together. Andrew was pretty miserable. He was stuck on a ship with awful cell phone reception, no friends, and these bullies. There were two bullies in particular who tried to make Andrew quit his job. If he even spoke to him, they'd snap at him, and one of them even became physically abusive. Andrew thought about quitting every day, but he didn't do it. He was smart and determined, and he knew that this was his opportunity to solve his own problem. He decided to analyze what was motivating the bullies. He knew that bitterness and disappointment can drive someone to become a bully. The main bully, for example, was 31, much older than the rest of the employees, who were mostly of college age, and that must have been uncomfortable for him. He might have felt a bit like life was passing him by. Andrew also noticed that the very first time that the main bully made a mean comment to him, he got laughs from the other people. Andrew realized that picking on others was the method this bully used to make friends for himself. Andrew explains, if he hurt one person to make 5 others laugh, he was winning. My goal was to change this habit and outlook. So Andrew decided to start a good deed project. It was a bit of an experiment, but as I said, Andrew was impressively analytical about the whole situation. He decided he would do a good deed every day for the bullies, especially one in particular. He opened the door for him when he saw him, and he did everything he could to make the bully's life easier. Soon, Andrew says, I noticed he stopped acting as rude and hateful. As I did these good deeds, I studied how my bully's persona would change from an individual setting to a group setting. The bully's friends took note, too. One of them told Andrew, you don't deserve the way people are treating you. You deserve better than this. Andrew started making friends with all of the main bully's friends, and that was the final turning point. The guy couldn't very well bully Andrew anymore while they were hanging out with mutual friends. So the main bully now gave Andrew respect, and he finished off his job in much better circumstances than he had started it. He had a new mission in life as well, to spread the message about how good deeds can change everything. His book, 50 Deeds for Those in Need, came out in 2013 to excellent reviews. It contains a wonderful list of suggested good deeds, and I'll pass on a few to you from the table of contents. Chalk a motivational message on the sidewalk. Donate blood. Write a positive online review. Yes, please do that. Please write a review for my podcast. I would appreciate it. All right, here's another tip from Andrew. Bring in your neighbor's trash cans. Become an organ donor. Thank someone in uniform. Help someone whose car is broken down. Return a shopping cart. Those are just a few of the tips that he mentioned in his book, 50 Deeds for Those in Need. Tomorrow, on Wow Wednesday, we're going to open our minds in a different way with a sneak preview of our next Christmas book and a story about a holiday miracle. Thanks for joining me today for the Chicken Soup for the Soul podcast. Please share it with your friends and family members. And let me know what you think. My email is amy@chickensoupforthesoul.com. And if you'd like more great ideas for living a happier life from our books, Chicken Soup for the Soul, Find Your Inner Strength, or from my new book, Simply Happy, please visit our website, chickensoup.com.